What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back today to Assetto Corsa for my Assetto Corsa Hot Lap Challenge thingy-majigster. Today we have another kind of classic historical-ish notable car. And well, I won't beat around the bush at this point. We'll get right into it. It's the 1998 Porsche 911 GT1. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping again. I always hiccup when I try to do these because I talk fast. 911 Porsche GT1. There were actually two versions of this car in the late 90s. This is the kind of sort of updated one, I guess. The previous one was based on the 993. This one's based on the 996. Again, that's a very loose term, based on the 996. It's other than I think the headlights, it basically shares nothing in common. But anyways, as usual, we're going to take it to Laguna and Monza. Give it an out lap, shakedown, warm up lap, flyer lap. Kind of looking for this to be somewhere in between like the modern LMP1 cars, you know, the 919, the Audi R18, and like the Sauber C9 and the Mazda 787B. Somewhere like 120, 121 around Laguna is kind of what I'm expecting and looking for. I don't know if that's realistic or how that's going to go. But it's a car that I like. It's a car that I think is fun. Not the craziest thing ever, but we'll see how it gets on. Yeah, so pretty excited about it. It's a fun car. I can't deny that it's definitely something that interests me as far as a race car goes. Back from my days in I want 90s. Are there hard tires? Yeah. Back from my days in, of course, Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, which I've talked about. No turbo on this car. Just had to check if there were any other kind of power adder type things. So just slick tires. We'll go right out. Same deal as usual. And then we'll go do the same thing at Monza and record some lap times. Relatively quiet car, actually, for what it is. Of course, this car, the Mercedes CLR race car, which is basically the updated CLK that's a little bit more well-known. I want third there, I think. The CLR is famous for flipping over in 1999 in Le Mans. But this car actually flipped over at Petit Le Mans in Road Atlanta in 1998. Kind of before the whole Mark Webber, Peter Dumbrek thing at Le Mans. This was actually kind of the start of that kind of ground effect aero wash thing. But not a lot of people know that, so. Pretty straightforward car, feels okay, relatively neutral. Like I said, looking 120, 121-ish. Does have 6 gears, I had to check there. Feels like the handling's pretty good, not the highest braking quality. That's okay. Fairly predictable car to drive. Pretty fun on the half a lap I've made so far. And I will shut up and focus a little bit more and stop chit-chatting quite so much as we come up here towards our warm-up lap. All sorts of squirrely there into turn 1, but we made it. Yeah, pretty easy, predictable car to drive. Nothing really skatey or anything, so that's good. I'm quite enjoying it. Let's see what kind of lap time we can put down. I expect this to be a little bit faster than like the 787B and the Sauber, just because it's got a little bit newer technology. Not going to be quite the same weapon on the straights, especially as the Sauber, but still should be pretty fast. Interesting sounding car. It's got a distinctive noise, but it's not particularly loud. Pretty interesting as we almost blow the last corner here. And we're ready to start our flyers, so we'll see if we can find a little bit of time for this warm up and see where we slide on the board there. We need to find some time, it looks like. power snap. Funnily enough, though, this is pretty much what I remember this car sounding like from Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, and I wasn't sure if that was an accurate, realistic depiction of the sound, because you know it was a pretty old, fairly cheap PC game. Appears to have been relatively close, actually, close enough. They got the basic sound down. I know a lot of those cars kind of sound all the same, but this is a good sounding one, so a little bit wide through there, but we made it. Deep in there, but we made it. See if we can get this last corner right this time. Let's get a 23s here, hopefully. Slight slide there. 23.54, so we made up about 1 second. Take that, not bad. We'll write it down. A little bit slower than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting around 121. But 23.54. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 7. Porsche 911 GT1. I just totally spaced on what this car was called. All right, 123.543, which actually puts it right behind by about 0.3 the 787B. A little bit surprising. I expected it to be a little bit faster, just about 0.9 quicker than the Ferrari 312T. Interesting enough. We'll see how it stacks up in Monza. Obviously, Monza much more of a power circuit, not purely a power circuit, but much more of a power circuit. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what to expect out of this car. I guess I'd kind of expect it to be sort of 149, 150-ish territory. I guess would be the kind of the game plan. Whether or not they'll come to fruition, I don't know, but we'll give it a whirl. So, same deal. Out lap, warm up lap for a flyer. Should be a fun car on this track. It handles pretty well, so should be able to get into the chicanes nice and deep. Put power down really nicely. Big fat rear tires. I'm a little bit concerned about the gearing as far as running out of 6th gear on the front stretch here, and even down to Ascari perhaps. We'll see if that comes to fruition here. A little bit nervous about though, we might be on the chip, especially if we're already going to be up to 6th gear here, 150. I expect this car to reach well over 180. Looks like we probably are going to run out of gear actually. There, it must be dropping wheels on the curves or something, because that is extremely bouncy. Just 6th already there. Not going to quite maxed out down here. Easy turn in, easy, nice. Big snap out over the grass there. Just got a little bit of that curve. Alright, well, that's interesting. Really good braking performance there on the straight line braking. Off of Parabolica, we'll see how much 6th gear we can bring out of it here. The 6th gear before the start finish line is probably not a good omen, but we'll see what we got. There it is, 181, 182, 183. I think I'm going to want first through there. I thought about 2nd, but first will be the move, I think. First time through Scar was actually pretty good. Need to do it again. Oh yeah, nice and smooth and buttery. Direction change right here. Little better still, a little bit of apron there needed. Pretty good though. Really short fifth gear, which is interesting. Usually you'd expect fifth gear to be a little bit longer and help sixth gear be longer. Braking super controlled, pretty late braking. See what we can do here. Come up, start a flying lap. Fun car to drive. I absolutely recommend this car. Super easy to get a lot of percentage of the performance out of. Oh, this is actually going to be way faster than I thought it was. A lot of curb again there. I feel like the downshift is kind of kicking the car to the left slightly. It's okay. Hold it to the right there. Buffeting quite a lot there. There we go, perfect. Lesmo 1 was picture perfect. A little bit deep in Lesmo 2, but we made it. Good enough, solid exit. A little bit of a slide, but it probably won't cost us too much at all. Up to 6th again here. A little bit deeper in there, we did manage to get it through. There we go, best we've gotten through Ascari. Just got nailed the Parabolica here, deep braking, be brave. This should be a pretty sporty lap actually, it might surprise me. Really deep there, like 120, 125. A little bit of compromised exit speed. Nothing too crazy. To the line survey says 45.84. What an awesome lap time by this car. I was not expecting that. I was expecting 3 to 4 seconds slower. I need this back. I always forget. Wow, that is an unbelievable lap time for this car. Not that I wasn't thinking it could do a lap like that, but I was expecting the straightaway deficit to play more of a factor. But it must be faster, at least relatively fast compared to the 787B, because we are slower than that around Laguna, and faster here. So the car obviously gets up and goes pretty well. The gearing ended up actually being just about perfect. But this is going to slot into 7th place. Wow, that is an impressive lap time for the GT1 there. It's going to be a 145.842. That is an impressive lap time. 0.6 better than the 787B and a full second faster than the McLaren P1. So definitely a lap worthy of like a round of applause right there. That's surprised me a little bit, which is okay. That's a good thing. But you know, yeah, Sector 1 could have been a little better. I feel like I could have picked up more in the 10th from where that first one was. 7/10 or more in the middle sector and about a half second in the 3rd sector. That's a fantastic lap. Glad I put those last 2 sectors together. That was a lot of fun to drive. So that's going to be that for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Make sure you drop a like and a sub down below so you don't miss any of the action from Assetto, Corsa, iRacing, F122, or anything else I may post. So that's going to be that for now. Until next time. Bye.